So you made a point at the beginning of this, and I am just so waiting to hear you explain it, because it's either going to be genius, brilliant, something I never realized before, and it's going to make me love them both even more, or it's going to be completely out of nowhere overthinking. So Steve, how is American Idiot not possible with an American Prayer? Without an American Prayer?
Okay, so this is, I think, kind of interesting. American Idiot, when that came out, there was lots of interesting backlash to it where people either thought it was like too vulgar or too political, which I never quite understood, but whatever. And when I go back and I listen to some of the interviews that the band did about this particular album, they mention a lot of how they wanna like go back and bridge the gap between things like Frank Sinatra to Elvis Presley, and like you were saying, like what happened to like the white appropriation of black music, and how the Doors weren't that, and how Green Day owes a lot of what their music is to like more British punk music. And so they did this interview a few years back where I think it was back when like Una Dos Tres came out, but like they did a album a few years back, or not an interview a few years back, where they talk about how American Idiot is always going to be the thing they're known for, regardless of what they do in the future. This is always going to be the thing that people think of when they think Green Day. And they talk about how they reference specifically this album, American Prayer. They talk about how American Prayer is a journey across a man's life, and how it is about defining what a genre became and what the local context means to a person. And they said that they very actively wanted to take that sort of mentality and try and apply it to like a more punk rock atmosphere. And so American Idiot would not be possible without American Prayer, because the whole idea of this album having that like Jesus of the Suburbia, like that walking through vibe, comes from them liking Jim Morrison's kind of cross-country method.
Interesting. I never knew that.
It's really cool.
That's fascinating. Like, I'm so impressed that I just pulled I thought it was a neat coincidence that I pulled these two out of my ass in conjunction with the 4th of July. But to have that connection and not even know about it is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot of the Doors influence here. There's a lot of the Who influence here, but it is very much that vibe of wanting to talk about this as a journey. And I think that's partly why some of the songs are as long as they are.